I'm Steve Christian of Local Haunts, and I have something pretty interesting I want to share with you guys. Pamela and I live together, and we have been living in this house for about 7 years. And the house was built in the late 40s after World War II, and it has something very interesting in the backyard that you don't find too often, especially here in Florida. We have a bomb shelter. Now, I've never been inside this bomb shelter. In fact, until very recently, the door was sealed shut. There's only one entrance to the bomb shelter. It's kind of like a submarine hatch on the, and then there's like a shaft that goes down 1 story underground, and then there's a bunker. It even has a periscope, so you can look outside to see if the world's come to an end or not before you come out of your shelter. Now, these were quite common during the Cold War throughout America. People were terrified of the Russians bombing us into oblivion, so they would build bomb shelters in their yards if they had the financial means to do so. Apparently, whoever built this house or lived in this house in the Cold War apparently had the funds to build a bomb shelter. And even though the house is in Florida, which has a very high water table, apparently this property sits on a high enough ground to where they were able to dig 12 feet or so underground to build a bomb shelter. Now, there is some water in the bomb shelter because the hatch had some holes rusted through it. So over the years, rainwater has spilled down into the bomb shelter. So I decided to cover that a few years ago with like a tarp, but God knows how long that the door was sealed and water has just been getting in there. But I'm dying to get into this bomb shelter. However, Pamela Theresa, as you know, my partner, is a spiritual medium, and she has full communication with the spirit world, including my heavenly loved ones, my grandfather, my uncle, anybody who's ever passed on the other side for me that is now heavenly and is in my life and watching out for me. Well, they didn't really want me to go into the bomb shelter because it's not really safe, because over the past 50 or 60 years that the bomb shelter has been in existence, 2 very large trees have grown on top of the bomb shelter. So there's a lot of weight on top of this bomb shelter that wasn't supposed to be there. So the integrity of the strength of the roof could be compromised, so it could collapse and bury me alive inside this bomb shelter if I were to go down there. However, I really, really want to go in this bomb shelter. I mean, I'm a paranormal investigator. I intentionally go into dark, creepy places on purpose. And I've got a freaking bomb shelter in my backyard that's been sealed for decades. So I've been dying to go into that thing. So I did manage to get the hatch open, and without going inside, I put my phone on a long selfie stick, and I lowered the selfie stick down into the shaft that goes into the bomb shelter as far as I could reach. And here's what I found. So in 7 years, I've never been in this bomb shelter. And I kind of even forgot it was back there in the backyard until very recently. I was just kind of like cleaning the yard, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a bomb shelter back here. So I decided to work on the door, and I got it open, and I decided to stick my camera down there and see what I could see without actually descending the stairs, because I didn't want to go against Pamela and the spirit world's wishes for me to enter the bomb shelter. But in that footage, I caught something I was not expecting. I caught some EVPs. Here's that footage again with the EVPs highlighted. So as you can hear, the spirits that were around me or inside the bomb shelter were concerned for my safety. So I have to honor that. And I did not go in the bomb shelter, but I would love to go in this bomb shelter. So comment and let us know if you would like to see us do a local haunts investigation in our own backyard, in our own bomb shelter. I would love it. So if I can convince Pamela to let me go in there, I would do it in a heartbeat. So let us know in the comments what you think, and let me know what you think about this footage. I think it's pretty cool. So I just wanted to share it with you guys because it's neat. I mean, it's a piece of American history because it's Cold War history. It really is. I mean, I have no idea when this bomb shelter was built, but it was, I assume, in the 50s. Like I said, the house was built in the 40s, right after the World War II. So then the Cold War started, and then all the fear of Russia bombing us into oblivion during the 50s. So I'm thinking that the bomb shelter was built around 55 or so. So and since then, like I said, those two giant trees have taken root and grown on top of the bomb shelter. So it may be sketchy to get in there. It might, if I'm very careful. I mean, it's strong enough to hold up those two very, very heavy trees, but there's always that what if, So let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll be seeing you guys soon.